the internet community, no matter how much the people inside the business may have been, it's died down right now, but the internet community is not going to let it die down. That is the real stickler in this whole Brock Lesnar scenario.
All right, and no need for fancy smanchy intros this week because this is all going to get chopped up anyway. But welcome into a new edition.
I'd like you to do a fancy intro to Sid.
Welcome into a special edition of Smack Talk here on the Sportskeeda Wrestling Facebook page and the WrestleBinge by Sportskeeda YouTube channel. Rick Ucchino, SP3, and the man coming out of the bullpen once again for Dutch Mantel, the wrestling legend himself, Bill Apter. Bill, what is going on, good sir?
Thank you. You know, Captain Lou Albano used to say, I'm a legend in my own mind.
There we go.
My bridge just fell out, guys. It's okay.
Oh, we are off to a slam dunk start here.
Live TV here.
Yeah, gentlemen, we're gonna run down a couple of the bigger topics in the week of professional wrestling, and one guy's whose name was in the news a lot this week. Will he? Won't he? This is a man who was referenced on Monday Night Raw on multiple occasions, which sure got the internet fired up here about whether or not the Beast, Brock Lesnar, was going to be coming back to WWE. Sean Rossap of Fightful.com, Fightful Select, reported that, no, bro, there's actually no plans currently, at least that anybody on a fairly high level within WWE is aware of. The creative team has been told, hey, we're not doing anything with him. Basically, WWE, since the Janelle Grant lawsuit came out and Brock was referred to, very important to mention that, referred to but not mentioned specifically, ever since that lawsuit came out, Brock was pulled from the Royal Rumble in 2024, earlier this year, 2 days before that event. He was supposed to be wrestling Gunther. That did not happen. That WrestleMania feud did not happen, and WWE went out of their way to remove this man from the video game, to get his merchandise off of WWE Shop, like heavily discounted that stuff. They don't mention him on television unless they feel it is unavoidable, which is kind of surprising that he was mentioned or at least referenced twice on Monday Night Raw.
Well, they didn't use his name.
Right. Sure. They used, again, referred to him, referenced him. Beast Slayer, right, was the terminology that was used a couple of times there, or at least some variation of it. But it still got the internet riled up this week, thinking maybe Brock Lesnar would be coming back. That does not appear to be the case right now.
You think you know all the wrestling stories? There's more you haven't heard yet. Join us on Backstage Pass.
Bill.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar coming back to WWE. Is that something that you either believe could happen down the line, or do you believe would be necessary for him to come back? Is it something you feel like WWE should consider doing right now?
Well, you brought up the material about him being banned during this whole Janelle Grant thing mentioned in there, but I think other than McMahon and John Laurinaitis, neither of them are going to be back, that it's a very gray area at this point with Brock Lesnar. And I think they're going to find a way to bring him back. I really do. But my question is, if Brock comes back, what do they do with Brock Lesnar? See, I'm Brock Lesnar. Gunther, of course, would be something I would like to see, but Brock's been through just about everybody else. So what, other than Gunther, what other interest would we have in Brock Lesnar against who?
And that's kind of where I'm leaning on this. I don't think WWE is going to bring Brock back, especially with a federal investigation into all of the accusations currently underway. Okay. I think they're going to try to keep themselves separated from him for as long as they feel is necessary, whether that is forever or whether that is, a year or whatever it is, whatever they decide to do with Brock down the line, if he's cleared or whatever it is, once all this has finally been settled and the dust is cleared. But I look at the fact that Brock Lesnar is an attraction from a time when WWE desperately needed attractions. They needed a guy to come in there and headline a WrestleMania with Roman Reigns. They needed a guy who could go in there and dominate and build up his own accolades, but a guy that could be utilized to help build a star like Roman Reigns. Like Brock Lesnar was integral in trying to get Roman Reigns to the point where he is now the tribal chief, and Roman Reigns beat him multiple times on the path to getting to where he is now on the top of the business as the upper echelon babyface in the company alongside Cody Rhodes. They needed that back in the day.
But I don't think that the fans have had their fill of Brock Lesnar yet.
Depends on who you ask.
I think there's still a need from the fans to see Brock Lesnar.
Creatively, though, SP3, I don't think he's needed. Right now, Triple H has more over talent than he honestly knows what to do with. And outside of wrestling Gunther, which is a match like from a physical standpoint, yeah, we all want to see it. But after that, like Gunther wins, move on. Like I don't see the need, especially at the top dollar that man commands. I just don't see what the need is creatively, how he fits in WWE right now.
Does Gunther win?
Oh yeah.
Does Gunther win?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same thing with Goldberg. If they bring back Goldberg to wrestle Gunther, squash that man and move on. Let's go.
You gotta use these like part-time guys to get over your current talent and the active talent that's gonna be on your roster long term. But Rick, you make a good point in the opposite way of what you're trying to go for, because Brock is going to be, if he comes back, the highest paid guy that you have on the roster because of what his contract is at. So, keep him on the sideline. Maybe it's all dependent on him actually showing up to work of what they are actually paying him. But I know contract wise, he has one of the biggest contracts that he makes per matchup anyway. So I think that he's a type of guy that, there's a bunch of stuff you could do with him. It's not just Gunther. There's Braun Breaker. There's Solo Sikoa. There's Jacob Fatu. There's a litany of guys that he has not faced that have come to prominence in the time that he's been away. But I am also on the side of, I do agree with Rick that Triple H and the WWE is at a place right now where they have so many over baby faces. But when you look at the top of the card, a lot of their over baby faces have already faced Brock Lesnar, the Cody Rhodes, the Roman Reigns, the Seth Rollins, the CM Punks. Like you got John Cena on his retirement tour. I don't want to see John Cena versus Brock Lesnar again. It's not going to get as good as Extreme Rules 2012 or SummerSlam 2014. So I don't want to see that again. So we've seen all him embracing like the top baby faces at the time. And I think right now they're at a place where if Brock did come back, he is probably best suited to be the heel, to be the monster heel again. Absolutely. And when you look at the babyface side, outside of someone like a Jey Uso, which I'm not dying to see a Jey Uso versus Brock Lesnar rivalry. Like all their top baby faces, like I'm saying here, have already faced Brock Lesnar. So all the people that I just named is heels, and I don't think Brock is going to be a baby face because of everything that's happening outside of the ring in reference to his name. So I think not right now is the time. Like we're a year away from Brock Lesnar being kind of suitable enough where the heat has died down just a bit and his name hasn't been said too much in the lawsuit, but we'll see what happens when they finally get into trial.
You just brought that up, and Rick, I agree with you on this, because the internet community, no matter how much the people inside the business may have been, it's died down right now, but the internet community is not going to let it die down. That is the real stickler in this whole Brock Lesnar scenario.
And Triple H pays attention. He pays attention to what is said about WWE on social media.
And you do know that with Brock Lesnar, his first night back, if it's in a pay-per-view and they have a press conference afterwards, somebody's going to ask him about...
He ain't doing no press conference.
Yeah.
He ain't doing no press conference.
Away from that. Yeah.
There's no way.
The only thing worse than Brock Lesnar doing a press conference is Triple H being asked about Brock Lesnar. Can't wait for what he's going to answer.
Or Mariah May showing up at a press conference where nobody has any questions. But
No, I'm
moving
sorry.
on.
I'm sorry. Triple H saying I don't see color is worse than Mariah May being asked any questions.
Okay, all right.
We'll go with that.